Hi, I'm Prim Escalona, the United States Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama.
And I'm Chris Newlett, Chief Executive Officer of the National Children's Advocacy Center.
We are excited to be partnering with the National Children's Advocacy Center in offering a digital series to educate parents and caretakers about sextortion and how they can help prevent kids and teens from being victims.
Sextortion is a form of blackmail where someone manipulates a child or teen into sending them nude images or videos and then threatens to share those images with the victim's friends and family if they don't comply with the abuser's demands.
With the technological advancements of camera phones, the ease and norm these days of snapping, sharing, and posting images, as well as the variety of social media platforms and apps that our youth have access to, it has created an opportunity for those with nefarious intentions to take full advantage. Therefore, we must team up and combine our efforts to combat these criminals and protect our children.
Young people are vulnerable to sextortion for many reasons that will be discussed throughout this series. It will offer parents strategies they can use to communicate with their children about sextortion and online child sexual abuse. This will include the natural curiosity children and teens have about sex and how perpetrators, both strangers and people they know, use this to manipulate them.
Federal authorities, including the FBI and Homeland Security, have seen a significant rise in sextortion of children over the past couple of years by offenders outside the United States. Typically, in these cases, the offender pretends to be a female and, through deception, convinces the male child to produce a sexually explicit image and then immediately begins extorting the child for money or gift cards. The shame, fear, and confusion that victims experience often prevents them from asking for help. And in several instances, the child has committed suicide.
This series offers resources from a variety of people familiar with sextortion and the impact of this on the individuals who have been victims of this crime. Parents will be informed who to reach out to for help if their child has potentially been affected by sextortion and/or online child sexual abuse, and we will explore potential mental health repercussions and what to do if kids need help.
We hope you will find the information in this digital series helpful.
Hi, I'm Lynn Bius, Executive Director of the Alabama Network of Children's Advocacy Centers. Suicide, especially among children and teens, is a scary topic that we often see in the news, on social media, and as a part of popular culture. With the recent increase in cases of sextortion, law enforcement is noting perpetrators are targeting boys and young men. Alarmingly, a number of these male victims have committed suicide. According to U.S. statistics, suicide is the second leading cause of death for children, adolescents, and young girls ages 10 to 24. Girls present a higher risk of suicide attempts while more boys die by suicide. Adults can prevent this by being aware of risk factors and warning signs and being able and ready to help children and teens. This can be accomplished by having caring and non-judgmental conversations with them and getting them the help they need. So what can parents do to protect children and teens from suicide risk? Parents can model healthy habits for mental health by maintaining mental health, by using and sharing coping skills for difficult emotions such as anger, anxiety, and managing stress. Talking about mental health openly and avoid stigmatizing it or making it sound like people who seek help are weak. Why is this important? When your children see you approach your own challenges, it may help them to understand that it's okay to struggle, to learn from their mistakes, and get help when needed. It may also help them have more compassion for themselves and others. Ask yourself, is this normal teen behavior and angst, or is something wrong? When children hit puberty, the many changes to their body and brain may cause major changes to their behavior. However, parents can observe for concerning behaviors. Be aware that certain populations of young people are more at risk for suicide, including those with mental health issues such as depression and anxiety, those that have experienced any type of trauma, or those that are part of a group that is stigmatized, such as sexual and gender minorities. Or if they talk about it or indicate it through their behavior by feeling hopelessness and worthlessness. if they withdraw from friends and activities, if they are using any type of non-suicidal self-injury such as cutting to cope with difficult feelings, or if they have changes in their typical patterns around sleep, energy, appetite, motivation, and frustration. You know your child best. Trust your gut instincts if you suspect that something is wrong. So, how do you talk to your child about mental health and suicide? Listen intently without judgment and ask open-ended questions. Express empathy for how they are feeling and resist the urge to fix it by telling them what they should do or how they should feel. If they don't want to talk at that moment, reassure them you are available when they are, and that you won't judge them, and you will support them no matter what challenges they may face. Don't be afraid to ask them directly if they are thinking about suicide. Talking about suicide does not make suicidal thoughts more real or more likely to happen. The approach is similar for tweens and teens. Use language that makes sense to your child. If a child or teenager shares that they are thinking about suicide, you should take it seriously. Do not assume this is attention-seeking behavior. Continue to listen and engage in a kind, supporting, and empathetic manner. Reassure them you love and support them. Talk with the child about getting help and share why this is important so that you can keep them safe. If the child is in crisis and needs immediate help, call 988 for the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text the crisis text line. Text TALK to 741-741. And of course, call 911 or take the child to the nearest emergency room for an evaluation. If the child is not immediately at risk, meaning they talk about suicide generally by saying things like, "I don't want to be here," but they don't have a plan, find a mental health professional who has experience dealing with suicidal youth. Please remember to remove access to any lethal objects such as firearms, medications, and sharp objects that can be used for suicide. This is a general household health and safety precaution regardless of suicidal risk. But removing access to such lethal means is important because often suicide attempts take place during a short-term crisis, and considering the impulsive and undeveloped brain of children, this is a major component of suicide prevention.